All right, Melanie, one more time. We're going to reframe the question. Set it up for me again. How do you do what to a buyer? They're
Yes,
getting married.
my buyer is they're considering selling, renting, and then buying. So they will lose about 12 months in the market, of wealth building. And so I want to help them understand that it is in their best interest to continue to contribute towards their legacy instead of going back to a rental environment for 12 months, buying as soon as they sell.
What do they see as the advantage to being tenants?
Um, that's a good question.
Okay, I mean that would so there's a piece that they see as important. Either it's flexibility, right, or they need access to the capital, and that they're going to use the capital for the wedding or for some other type of
I definitely think that that is a pressure that they're feeling.
yeah.
That they're overspending on this party. That's just my opinion.
Lesson, kids, here's a lesson. Don't spend a lot on the wedding. It's just okay. Buy a house. So Melanie, what could you illustrate? They're homeowners. So they've got their own personal journey. Illustrate that from start to finish. How much money did you guys make since you've owned the home?
They'll net, under $10,000, but it'll be a net.
Okay, it'll be a positive. It'll be a growth. And how long have you owned it?
A year and 8 months.
Okay. When you go to work, how long does it take you to make 10 grand? Could you get a 10 grand raise just by going to work today? What if you could get a $10,000 raise by just owning a house like you did this time? Would it surprise you to know that people who've owned a house for a year in 2021 to 2022, they made a lot more than $10,000? What if you could have bought one of those homes? How much would you have to make to get you excited about owning a home again? Would it have to be like $50,000 in a year? If you owning a home for the next 5 years doubled your income, would that get you excited about not being a tenant? Arturo.
Morning. Just wanted to add, my lender has a tool. I mean, it's going to be something that maybe most lenders do have. So that it basically tells you how much is going to cost you to wait, and it has graphics, and it's very intuitive, very easy to understand. I tell, okay, if you wait 1 year and you rent instead of buying, this is the money that you're gonna lose. This is what it's gonna cost you. If you wait 2 years, this is what it's gonna cost you based on how much the house is gonna appreciate, and how much you're gonna actually pay for rent that is not gonna go back to you, etc., etc., etc. So maybe you want to check with one of your lenders if they have something similar like that they can print this for you, so you can share it with your buyer. And that once you have those graphs and those numbers in paper, it's a lot easier to understand for somebody who might not get it just with words.
Thank you.
Arturo, what's that called?
I really don't know how is it called. It's one of my lenders from Movement Mortgage. I think Movement gives them this tool that do this, but I'm sure there's gonna be some kind of tool that more than one lender is gonna have, right? That's what I say. Like, check with one of your lenders if they have this, and it's super useful. I've used it quite a few times. And it shows how much it will cost to somebody to wait based on the current situation and the current market.
Arturo, you get to use that on your own, or does your lender do it for you?
I have to ask my lender to run it for my clients, and he does it all the time. I mean, apparently you just fill in the blanks, press a button, and it generates this report.
Very good. I use Movement Mortgage a lot, so it's very good to know. I didn't know that. Very good.
Yeah, it's basically the cost of waiting in the investment industry that they normally do that in insurance and investment. If you wait 5 years, how much compounded interest you lost. So it's basically debt in reverse. So you take a financial calculator and put in what you would estimate the appreciation to be over the next 2, 3, 5 years, and it'll tell you how much.
I mean, you can basically figure it out, but I think the value of this is the format that it comes out to. Like it comes out with the colors and formatted, and it's very easy for a buyer. It's not overwhelming. It's very easy to understand and to read. So
I want you to imagine the value of each conversation, though it may not lead to a contract at that moment. Having a good dialogue with your lender to get tools and information like this gives you the real substance to communicate to all the audience, the database, the people that you have, because you have new information. It illustrates their opportunities in different formats. And all we need to do as brokers is communicate with our space and invite them to share what they know with us so we can help our clients. So I love that. It's an awesome opportunity. Welcome, everybody. It's the National Real Estate Conversation. Chris Hurley here, helping you get your day started in real estate. Got a little script I put into the chat there. We'll go over that. But first, we got a couple of people finishing up our beginning talk. Z is here. What's up, Z?
Hey, oh my goodness, I lost the train of thought. Okay, so there's this clip that was posted, and I followed this Detroit Metro News, and then it's saying that, which is true. I didn't need that to know. Rent has went up significantly here. It's so crazy. That I want to captivate that to send it to my buyers that have been on the fence, and to have them move to really to stop renting. And I did have, because I'm in part of Inspire, we had the chief Louis Yoon on the call. So we have a graph too about the homeowner wealth and the rent as well. So I want to merge those two together, and to really, not to bring fear, but at least have them move with urgency to start looking to purchase.
So what's the headline, Z? The headline for people about Detroit housing. Like that's what we're thinking of. What's the headline? Detroit housing rents are pricing people out. Home ownership still within reach. That's the headline, right? You're presenting a challenge, but your solution follows it. Because they're going to have read an article that Detroit rents are becoming unaffordable. The good news is we can still get people qualified for loans, even using Linda's model that there's down payment assistance. So the headline, Detroit rents pricing people out of housing. Now the contra to that is, yet first-time home buyers still have available opportunities, even with no money down. Contact Z for more. Who do you know who I can talk to about this message? Okay, encapsulate the headline and then ask the question.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's great.
Vicky DeLuca is here. Hey, Vicky.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, really quick, just wanted to say, most important is if you guys are working with any buyers, whether they're renting or they're selling, sit down with your local lender and have the appointment with your lender, because they then can be the professional in that lane, show them how they can help them in the path forward by providing them the programs that you're talking about. But also you can do the statement of stop padding the pockets of the landlords and build your wealth. There is an opportunity. Let's be curious and see if it's possible for you to start this process. So I think it's just, to me, it's so empowering to help these people, because Z, you're having this in Detroit. We're having this in Florida as well. The rents are insane.
Service, information, give people good opportunities, advice, that type of thing.
Yeah,
Chef,
and actually, I'm sorry. I apologize. And actually it's saying Michigan ranked number 3 in this country of the highest rent increases.
Yep.
So.
That's a great fact, right? Now, Z, flip it on your head. What's a great fact around that serves an investor? Think about that. That's another message for the same content. Like, did you know rents are going up so much that people are making hand over fist as landlords now? Would you like to be one of those people? Right? Don't believe me, believe the Detroit Press. They study it.
You good, Chris?
What's up, Keith?
Thanks, Chris. Good morning, everyone. Just to springboard a little bit off of what Arturo was talking about. Yesterday, we had our monthly office meeting, and one of our partners in our office is from Moving Mortgage, who brought in this outrageous 8-9 page report on forecast appreciation, cumulative rent amortization. Yeah, talk to your lenders, because this is something that can. He made me pull it out of my bag, and it's like, wow. If your lender can't provide you with this kind of information, then you need to think about adding some more lenders to your toolbox, because this is, if no one should be, waiting.
Keith, do you do any social media?
A little.
You should take that paper with your passion right now, hold it up, do a quick reel, 15 seconds or less, keep it at 15 seconds, don't go longer. And say, I just met with a lender. He gave me this amazing 9-page report with all the resources of the financial markets today. Who do you know who needs an amazing piece of information like that? Reach out to me, Keith.
Absolutely. Here it is right here. It speaks for itself. I know you can't read the print, but if you can get this kind of information to answer that question for your client, it's right here for you.
And it's in Keith's hands. All you need to do is message him and he'll connect with you and answer all your real estate needs, Keith. That's how the script works. Great job. Barbara Haley, close this out. What's up, Barbara?
Good morning from Miami. So I was just going to say it is a matter of discovering why they are choosing to sell their house and rent. But I find many times it can be just that they're nervous about coordinating the sale with the purchase of another one. So it's a matter of me just reassuring them that this might be the first time they're doing it, but we've done it, a million times. So for us, it's nothing new, and we will make sure that the timelines are coordinated in the right way.
So, love it. All right, my friends, great content here to help out. I hope you all will be inspired to chat with a lender at some point this week and get what's working in your market. It's important to have those conversations because, like Keith got inspired by that information. It can give you not only the material content that you're informed with, but it can get you excited to project the information. I mean, imagine how valuable it is to have the energy and confidence that what you're sharing is valuable to people. And that's because you met with somebody who's going to put money in their pocket through savings, through finance. That really gets a lot of people excited. So I encourage you to check that out. In the chat yesterday, I announced the DISC workshop that starts next week. I put that registration link in the chat. It's also in the Facebook group. And somebody yesterday, when they clicked on it, they said they couldn't find the link to start the registration process. On mobile, you've got to scroll around a little bit. On desktop, it's over to the right. So if you're clicking on the Eventbrite link there, for the DISC workshop, it's 4 events, DISC, one each session. We'll do 90 minutes. We'll assess yours. We'll review yours, get you aligned with what people are doing using personality tactics, especially in our real estate conversations. So the DISC workshop is a lot of fun, and that link is in the chat. Now, who wants sellers to call you and ask for conversations? Who would like to have a seller call you and ask for conversations? Raise your hand. All right. So I'm not alone. I would like that. So if you want them to have good conversations, sometimes they do this.
My name is Don Brewer. Maybe talk to my wife about a property we have on the Carolina Circle in Lakeway.
So if I got a property call from Lakeway and you're from Texas, is Lakeway a good area to catch a listing in Austin? Anybody know Lakeway?
Yes, I know Lakeway. My grandson lives over there. Yes, it is.
It's a nice area. It's a nice area, isn't it?
Yes.
So when you call people, what's going to make them call you back? Everybody gets a missed call. What's it sound like for you to get people to call you back? That was an expired call that I made, and I left a voicemail. What's your voicemail sound like? If you were going to leave a voicemail to get sellers to call you back, what's it sound like? I've got a script for that. But do you have one? I call him Barbara, but I know she doesn't want to answer this question. Just joking. I got your hand.
Me?
I'm just kidding. Who has left a voicemail that's compelling enough to get people to call back?
I have.
I did.
Let's do it. Somebody do it. Jonathan, you're first. Leave me a voicemail. Compelling.
Hey, Chris, this is Jonathan Burke with Keller Williams Realty Ellis County. I just want to touch base with you. If you'd like to hear the story of a gentleman who moved to Waxahachie with $60 in his pocket, didn't get paid for 3 weeks, ended up on buying a donut shop with no money and no experience, turned it into 4 donut shops, and now is working in real estate. If you'd like that kind of diligence in selling your house, would you please give me a call? 972
That's Jonathan, you're crazy. That's Jonathan's story. Very unique, detail-oriented, curious. Eddie, what do you say? What's your voicemail sound like, Eddie?
You know what? I don't leave a lot. I just say, hi, this is Eddie Farber calling. I have a quick question regarding the property. Would you please call me back? And people do call me back. I don't really say Keller Williams in the beginning right away. And I get people calling me back. That's what it is.
So that's a tactic, right? Does it benefit the return call to announce some of the details? Like you heard Jonathan give a ton of details. Ian loved it. He thought he learned so much about that. And he knows exactly why he should call Jonathan. The details sometimes matter. And so think about it. Does your brokerage name matter? Does your name matter? What matters to a person who has no idea who you are?
They're curious.
Think about
how it benefits them.
The benefit to them.
That's what we have to narrow the messages to. Too much detail sometimes will get people to drive by, but we need people to pause for a second and call us back. So if we're looking at this voicemail that I'm putting in the chat. Hey, this is Chris from Blankety Blank Realty. The reason I was calling is I noticed you're selling your house, and I have some important information about that. As a matter of fact, I might even have somebody who could be interested in it. I first need to get that information from you. So first, could you call me back at your earliest convenience? Blah, 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 blah. Somebody want to read that script? Role model what a good script sounds like in your world?
Sure, I'll do it.
Let's go, Telly.
All right. Hi, this is Telly from Keller Williams Realty. The reason I was given a call is I noticed you're selling your house, and I have some important information about that. As a matter of fact, I might even have someone, because I work with a lot of different buyers in the area, who could be interested in the property. But first, I need to get that information that I requested you first. So if you give me a call at your earliest convenience, I would sincerely appreciate it.
Okay. Good job, Telly. Who else wants to read that script? Leave a good voicemail.
I'll do it.
Let's go, Barbara.
Hi, this is Barbara from Gables Neighbors Realty. The reason why I'm calling is that I noticed you're selling your house over there on Elm Street, and have some important information about that. As a matter of fact, and I wanted to see if I could get some important information from you about the house. And, as a matter of fact, I might even have somebody that could be interested in the property. Call me back when you can, because I really want to get some information from you first to see if they'd be a good fit. My number is blah, blah, blah.
Think about how to say this in a way that it gravitates the people back to you. Hey, this is Chris from Blank Blank Realty. The reason I was calling is I noticed you were selling your house. And I have some important information about that. As a matter of fact, I might even have somebody who could be interested in it. I need to get the information from you first. Could you give me a call back at your earliest convenience? 555 blah, 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 blah.
Just curious, Chris, when you say I need to get that information from you, what information are you referring to?
Well, no, Valerie, thank you so much for calling back. Is your home still available?
Yes.
Oh, perfect, perfect. And the question that I had was, are all the additions that have been done to it permitted?
Say that again?
Are all the additions that have been done to that permitted?
Oh, permitted. I thought you said permanent. I'm like, what? Oh, Uncle Fred put some recessed lighting in the basement. I'm not sure about that. Oh, okay, but I guess I was just gonna say, I first need to get some information from you.
Make it
That,
up. What do
I
you
mean, I don't know.
need?
I was just, the wording confused me a little bit. That's all.
Well, I need to know about the house. If it's still available, that's great. One of the gentlemen, Valerie, that I talked to, the information that he gave me was that he cleared the burned down house and he put up a fence around the lot so that the lot now has become more valuable. I said, well, that's good to know because the people that I was coming in are going to have to plan for clearing the lot. And now that you've done that, that's a value improvement. So thanks for sharing that with me.
Did you file an insurance claim?
He did a quick claim and bought it from the seller, so it was interesting. All right, so real
right.
quick, we're gonna
Thanks.
do that. Go real quick. You have a question? All right, real quick. We're gonna go to breakout rooms. If you want to practice something, got about 8 or 10 minutes in breakout rooms. But voicemails. What's a voicemail that's compelling that will call people to call you back? Leave a voicemail. Practice leaving one in your opportunity today, and we'll come back on the other side. Golden bumper sticker nuggets. Double thumbs up. About 8 or 10 minutes of workouts. So Michelle said, what if they say all the info is on Zillow? Bring me a buyer if you really have one. I'm not listing with you. Okay, perfect. I wasn't asking you to list with me. I was just making sure the property's available. And I have these other questions about it. Tell me, have you gotten any offers yet? Lowball offers, cash offers, things like that? What are you seeing in terms of traffic? Do you have another pricing strategy? You offering any incentives? A lot of builders are offering incentives to buyers. Have you seen that lately? Like when they buy down the buyer's rate, is that a plan you're offering with yours to get better results? Do you know how to make a seller contribution to buy down the interest rate? I learned about that the other day. Just out of curiosity, how long do you want to sell it on your own before you hire a realtor? All right, so in the main room, you can work on whatever you want.
Actually, I do have a question.
Go
So
for it.
we talked about making a phone call like this, but what about if you're cold calling? Does anyone here leave messages? And if yes, what's a compelling message in a cold call like that to get someone to get back to you?
What's the value that you offer them, Pat? Like, think about what's the value that we could bring to somebody?
I mean, answering any real estate related questions based on the current market is of value to probably anybody, even if they're not interested in selling.
Think of what how energized Keith was about the financing information, and that'll come through in your voice, right? If you have good content that shows people value, think of what Z introduced. Z has introduced the concept that we can have high rents causing people to be first-time home buyers with incentive programs. We can have high rents that cause investors to make decisions to buy property. I was just calling, you live in this neighborhood that is really amazing in terms of rental revenue generation. Had you ever thought about buying another house in that neighborhood?
So I'm thinking about leaving a message. I'd like a message where people would actually call me back. Is that a message that you would leave? Have you ever thought?
If rental rates went up.
Okay.
Like, here's the opposite. Here's the opposite, Pat. I've got a neighborhood here where property taxes doubled and rental rates did not double. So if your property taxes went from 12,000 to 24,000 and your rental rates went from 2,000 a month to 2,200 a month, it didn't keep up. So everyone who owns a rental property in this neighborhood is literally breaking even. even if they've got a 2% mortgage, that $24,000, that's still a lot in taxes. So when you call those people, hey, is your rental property upside down because of taxes? Give me a call. I know you own a property in that area and there may be some challenges that you're experiencing. I'm happy to help and show you some options in the real estate market. My number is 555-1212.
Thank you.
Pat, can you give some context around what kind of voicemail you're looking to leave and who you're calling?
Yeah, so I mean, I do appreciate that. And of course, there are pockets of rental areas, but mostly we're in a residential area. And most people don't rent out their homes because their homes would probably rent for $4,000 or more. So I'm looking for some just like a hook that when you leave a generic message that you're just calling a list of people in an area that would compel somebody to want to speak with you. If I know a lot of people don't leave messages, that's a common thing where they say, listen, you don't pick up, there's no message. But I was just curious if leaving a message had value and if people had a hook that could get people interested in calling you.
So it'll come down to motivation. The more if they are motivated to do anything, great. Other than that, you're just cold calling and you might as well pick up the phone book. There's no magic, right? There's no magic that you have insight into their brain unless you have some artificial intelligence data and you've been tapping their phones and some other way to like build a behavior profile that says that they're moving. And then you have a reason to call. Other than that, you're just cold calling, like, you know, hoping that out of 500 calls today, one person returns your call, which is great. And it doesn't really matter the voicemail. It just matters on their motivation at that point.
Okay.
Right?
Ian put it in the chat.
You just don't know the motivation.
I have an offer for your home. Call me back.
Yeah. I've never had a cold call a neighborhood without an offer of value or something, or cold call a town unless there's some motivation at the other end.
I've got a buyer who's looking to buy in, 123 Main Street. Do you know anybody who's looking to sell there? Call me back.
Or if you're calling a neighborhood where a house just sold, hey, I don't know if you heard, XYZ home around the corner from you just sold for $200,000 over asking price. If that's of interest to you and you want to know more, call me back. Like that's
right. I mean, I like that, and I do like that. I like that. Yep. Thank you.
I'll say that there's a lot of people who don't answer the phone, and so we can choose to text. And then you get like a few lines to create an impact. Ian loves texting. I teased one of my committee chairmans. She did the talk to text and sent me this giant word wall. I TLDR. I didn't even read that. I don't know why are you sending me paragraphs on text that I got to scroll? Send me an audio. Look, Stephanie's gotten those before. Aren't they great? Somebody just talking into the phone and say, just call me. I don't want to read this much. I got to put glasses on. Lorenzo has his hand up from before.
Yes, Chris. I just wanted to continue what Pat was talking about. In New York State, they coming out with this program called ADUs, where all the community counties are required to create additional rental space because of the homeless issue. And they're offering up to $125,000 for a homeowner to convert the basement, convert the garage space to have limited rental space available. In my area in the Bronx, rents are going crazy. Just talk to a family. You're looking for a two bedroom, and you're looking at $2,600 a month. And this family makes over a six-figure income. And I'm asking, why are you renting? Really? Come on, let's go buy a home. Let's get, for a young couple starting a family. So things like that, starting to look into, because I think that would be beneficial for everybody to know. For investors to know, for homeowners to know, for future home buyers to know.
All of us to know.
That's passed, Lorenzo?
Yeah, it's passed, but the implementation is like everything else in New York. You know, they come up with something, then it takes 5 years for 10 cents to come out their pocket. So it's called ADUs. I'll get you some more information. I'm looking
All right,
at it.
taking this show back. We're going to close it off here at the top of the hour. Quickly, though, I want to jump to David. David, welcome. David's new here to the call.
Hey, how are you? Can you hear me?
Roger that.
All right, perfect. Hey, so one thing which I don't hear very often, although it should be maybe obvious, whatever script you have, if it doesn't sound like you're having a conversation with them, it just sounds like you're tired. You're like, oh my gosh, here's the 15th call or 50th call. It comes across. And I've heard people say stand up. I've heard people say smile. Like if you're looking at person in the eye, and it's tough when they're not there. I was a school teacher. You try teaching on Zoom to a whole bunch of empty blocks, right? for a year. And it gets there. And like you're doing that fake energy of, hey, this is David White with Keller Williams. We haven't met before, but I'm really excited about learning more about your house. It is for sale, right? I think I might have a buyer for you. Could you give me a call back at 860 blah, blah, blah? I'd love to chat with you and just see if there might be something I can do for you. I don't know. I made that up and it wasn't very smooth, but I'm not even looking at you. So I need to learn all that content. These are amazing ideas. Just sometimes, candidly, people sound like, hi, this is David from whatever. Give me a call. Like, I don't want to call that person.
Yeah, there's too much information and there's not enough energy. Yeah. So if we're going to leave a voicemail, the mission of this call, we haven't done voicemails ever before, but I do know that I've left some that had sellers call me back. And my mission is to have people call me back. So if I'm going to say something like, hey, this is Chris from blank blank Realty, the reason I was calling is I noticed you're selling your house and I have some important information about that. As a matter of fact, I might even know somebody who could be interested in it. I first need to get that information from you. Could you please call me back at your earliest convenience? Blah, 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 blah. So practice whatever voicemail you find appropriate and trust in the fact that if it's concise and it's put together, it will attract people to call you back. But if you're not motivated when you're leaving the voicemail, if you're not energized, if your call to action is uninspiring, it's going to be difficult to get engaged with us. So always think about what's in it for the audience member. Pat brought up what's valuable for the cold call. The role model I have is for people who are either expired or for sale by owner. But you may also find value in leaving a good voicemail for your database. They know your voice. They'll listen to you when they're convenient. And you could project out an invitation to an event. You could project out a reminder that you're thinking about them. What I'm encouraging you to do is to map that out before you start leaving those voicemails. Because if you can leave the same script 10 times and it delivers a result, you have something to measure going forward. But if you're always inventing what the message is because it's not consistent, because it's just spontaneous, you'll never know why people call you back. So I encourage you to think thoughtfully about what the message is you want to leave and trust in the fact that if you're leaving a powerful one, you'll get everything you need out of the call, which is contacts with people. Welcome back on the other side, golden bumper sticker nuggets to go away and have an amazing day. When you come back on the other side, you can thank people that you worked out with. I thank you guys for showing up and having some good content to go back and forth today. In the chat is beautiful. Thank you all the comments. All right, 3, 2, 1, no golden bumper sticker nuggets. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Don't forget to sign up for the Eventbrite, the DISC training. Share that with your market center. If you guys need some resources for content in the market center, tell your PC to share the DISC class, or if they want me to jump on and talk about it, I'm happy to. It'll be a fun workshop, a good value piece of studying it patiently, one personality at a time. Deb Bennett is here from Toronto.
Hey, sorry, I'm having trouble navigating my iPad. I don't usually do this on an iPad. Took me a while to find a breakout room that had people in it, but I did find one and they were extremely helpful. And I really liked this topic because how often do we leave voicemails? And it's good to leave ones that actually get a reply. So thank you, Shirley and Kathy and Linda in my breakout room for helping me out today.
Awesome. Good to see you, Deb. Good to see everybody once again. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same channel, and working on different conversations tomorrow. Actually, I'm not even here tomorrow. Oh my gosh, it's Takeover Thursday already. So the big boss will be here tomorrow, and I hope you enjoy that, and I'll be back Friday. Lisa, are you here today? Mahasi, are you here today? All right, Karawal gets his turn. Let's go, Aziz.
Yes. Yes. You've received the inspiration. Now put in the perspiration. Give me a Ric Flair. Woo!
Aziz in the house. Have a great day, guys. Go get it. Make your call.
Hey,
What
Great
is
job, Aziz.
cool?
Thank
Have
you,
a
Chris.
blessed
Not gonna do
day,
that.
everyone.
Have an incredible real estate day.
Have a successful day.
Thank you, Mark.